I've written a very long blog series about the opportunities we have to blend design thinking concepts like the jobs to be done canvas and the double diamond template with AI to help us as a society leverage AI to address some of our most onerous and difficult challenges. I mapped the example using the challenges we're facing here in the state of Iowa around water quality. And how do you get a convergence of ideation and agreement and synergy across farmers, residents, legislatures, and utility operators to solve this problem? It can be solved. And a lot of techniques, again, the double diamond is one of my favorites, how we do that. But what I want to do in this very brief video here is to highlight the role that AI plays in combination with the double diamond, how AI helps us to explore and to define and validate the problem we're going to go after to make sure we're really crystal clear on the problem we're trying to solve and the success criteria that we want to use to measure how effective our solution will be. I want to show you where AI can help us in actually exploring and and assembling the solution that appeals to the broadest audience and brings together the best of thinking from all, in this case, all different stakeholders. And finally, the role of AI to continuously monitor, learn, and adapt from the model. Again, all based on the double diamond concept. In the problem exploration and validation phase, the AI helps us to, I call it radical problem exploration, to synthesize data, a broad range of data to make sure we understand the problem really thoroughly before we go after it. We detail this pretty heavily in the Thinking Like a Data Scientist methodology that I teach at Iowa State University. We do cross-domain exploration, right? Look for best practices that other industries had to wrestle with problems that are similar to this. How do we build stakeholder empathy and make sure we haven't got any blind spots by making sure that everybody, including the traditionally underrepresented stakeholders, are brought into the solution ideation process? We want to basically create a shared truth, right? Here are the facts, here are the numbers, here is the common success criteria we're all striving for. And then how do I make certain that I've got a robust set of value of definitions that I can use to make the inevitable trade-off decisions that I'm going to have to make in the solution stage, right? And that value has to look not just at financial value. In fact, financial value is really pretty lousy because it's a lagging indicator. But how do I look at leading indicators like economic development and stakeholder satisfaction and environmental issues and health issues and social issues, right? So number one is AI has 5 ways in that first problem exploration and validation phase where it can help, coupled with the double diamond, to make sure we understand the problem we're trying to solve. We brought in the key stakeholders and we have a very thorough definition of success criteria across those stakeholders. Second phase, solution exploration and assembly. Here is where AI can again help us. It can help us to do simulations of trade-offs because every tough problem is going to have trade-offs between the success criteria. And it's not necessarily this or that. It's a part of this and a part of that and the weights we're going to use. How we can use causal intervention to make sure we understand cause and effect. So we understand how to model this, which is really important for the counterfactual and what-if exploration. So we can build simulations to see, well, how does this solution look like before we start actually putting, software or ideas into policy and ideas into code. And finally, very important, help us to explore unintended consequences, those second and third order effects that sometimes bite you in the butt if you've not really thought through, well, what are all the things where this could go wrong down the road? And finally, the last phase, monitoring, learning, and adapting. 3 things it does here, right? Creates feedback loops through instrumentation, observability to make sure we're continuously watching and learning. We're monitoring and causal forecasting using causal forecasting techniques like DAG and structured causal models to make sure that we are, as changes are happening, we're forecasting through causal models the impact of those. And then basically creating this audit trail of assumptions and trade-offs and the rationale we use so that as the world changes, we can come back to those and help reuse those across other problems we're looking at. Anyway, I hope you find this useful. Again, I've written a lot about this. I think this is one of the really big breakthrough opportunities for AI. Yeah, AI is great at optimizing processes, snore, but the real power of AI is to help leverage and sit, I call it AI in the middle, where AI is helping bring these different stakeholders, sometimes stakeholders who may not even like each other, conflicting stakeholders together to come up to the success criteria and helping us to do the trade-off simulation process to find the best solution. Thank you very much. Cheers.